Yo, what's the word?
What's
Another one.
happening?
It's another one. Building with Mars and Big Esco. We keep
What's
showing
up,
up.
Let's go. How you doing, brother?
Chilling, man. It's
Oh,
a
lucky.
nice
I
day.
don't know. I got your stuff on today. Close out Black History Month.
Okay. You know
Yeah.
what, y'all gonna get to see us have a live brainstorm right here. Mars, I want to know your opinion on this. I really need to
What?
know this.
Okay.
I want to remake that shirt. I want to reprint it. How
Okay.
do you
Okay.
feel about it being maybe a little bit more feeling vintagey, more of a t-shirt? Right now I got like the Union
Mm.
tee on, the Union who was
I
the
like the
collab?
weight and like the way that
Supervision.
they feel. Like Union has really good t-shirts. They get good blanks. Yeah.
I'm thinking it kind of maybe a little bit more like ashy black or something like that. Give it a more vintage feel. I put
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
champion because at the time I just wanted a decent quality, wanted people to like the
Mm-hmm.
feel of the
Mm-hmm.
shirt. But I'm thinking I want to redo that shirt. I want to redo my John Clayton too. I feel like a little
Oh,
bit
nice.
more
Okay. 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 That
reprint,
was a good
revamp.
one.
So I'm kind of do those like kind of like a vintage run. So you approve of
Yeah,
that idea?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, I mean, I think those graphics also would look good on with that style of like aesthetic and on that sort of like type of shirt. So yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
it's a good idea. I'm
Okay.
also on the low. I'm really into like beauty supply tees right now, bro.
Bro, I'm
I
trying to
grabbed a couple of them. I got like this joint with like Nelson Mandela, Obama,
world
Malcolm
premiere.
X, and Martin Luther King. That joint is tight actually.
World premiere. Okay, because we really in the studio here. Okay, these
Okay.
ain't even coming out. That's why I'm gonna show you these.
Okay, okay. He's like hooping shorts.
Oh, yeah, you see that? Wait,
Nice.
my
Oh,
camera.
nice, nice. All right, I see you. I
See
see you.
that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We
The
got. Oh,
light a
there we
little
go.
shining just so I'm clear. That's like a nice little green on it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
nice little
yeah. Okay,
green.
okay,
I got
okay.
this little K, Kings Highway stick
Oh, okay,
shift.
okay. I
There
see
we
what you're
go.
doing.
Come on, man. You
Now,
feel?
if any, I ain't gonna lie to you, bruh, and I think you might have said it already, but I think that like as a subsect of what you do for your brand, that would be fire if King's Highway like became its own like little mini
Oh no,
thing. I think
that's
there's a lot of storytelling that could be done with
that's
King's
what's
Highway.
happening right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
So
Okay, okay,
that's a
cool, cool.
world premiere.
Okay, that's all right.
Those not even coming out. That's not the colorway. But I just you know what I'm
No, that's the
saying?
custom for you.
That's the I always have a couple on the side where they's like, damn, well, nah, these ain't coming out. This is I
Right,
did this for
right, right,
myself. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, nah, man, nah. So yeah, that's like we was talking about off mic. Like we got some stuff we finna tap in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
World
yeah.
building, going in that direction or
Mm.
whatever. Uh, let me ask you. Oh, I'm gonna ask you a sports question.
What's happening?
Uh, how do we fix the All Star game quickly? It's already been over by now. You
Oh
know,
man, because I watched, but I did not really enjoy myself as much as I have in the past. Like it is a noticeable difference in the experience.
is
I'll
it
say
the
that much. I
NBA's
don't hate
fault
it. You
or is
say,
it
huh?
TNT? Is it the NBA's fault or is it TNT's fault?
I will say I am looking forward to seeing what they do when NBC is in that bag more next year. I remember growing up and what the NBA experience was through NBC, and it was
Mm-hmm.
fire. It's crazy because my girl got me a ebony, like an old ebony magazine, I want to say, and it was Felicia Rashad and Ahmad Rashad on the cover.
Fire.
So I remember inside stuff. The show came in my head and the magazine. I had the subscription with the poster.
Oh,
It's like I don't. It's so much stuff that is just different now with the digital experience that I think be missing. The NBA needed more than the NFL. I think the NFL does a great job of like storytelling and packaging their product, even with the
16,
NFL
18
film.
games.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
all of that is
totally
like they
different.
got a great system over there, and the NBA is it's the coolest sport culturally. I would one could make a good argument for being the best sport as well. Football is my number one. Basketball is a very close number two though. And just like on a cultural dominance and for like young people, like it's a great sport that is already American that is still reflective of the global South. Like the NBA should be bigger and not going through as many woes as they are. But to answer your question, I think it might have been Stephen A. Smith who's been talking about allowing like the amateur dunkers to come in and dunk instead. I think if these pros don't like, because you see the tweeting all the time, they never actually do it for whatever reason. If you want to stay healthy, you don't want to look like a lame, whatever the case may be, just don't lie to us, bro. LeBron broke my heart a few times teasing us, and it's okay. I respect that you want to be an in-game dunker. You do some phenomenal dunking, but the what he did in high school, if you would have just did that once on a pro level, oh man, oh, and he only needed one. But it's
Only
cool.
needed
We know
one.
you, Brian. It's whatever. It's whatever. But the amateur dunkers that really be going crazy on the internet and in them tournaments, they are hard. They are
Yeah.
hard. I do think maybe adding the WNBA, incorporating the WNBA a bit more could really work, especially as like Nike and then like we're putting money behind women's sports. The crossover appeal is definitely there, and also the NBA, if I'm not mistaken, does still own the WNBA, so it's good for the bottom dollar and for business as well if y'all can actually make some bread and expand that brand as well. But honestly, I miss the old format. I do think there's a little bit of like there needs to be some sort of incentive on the pros for like the actual All-Star game. Give me the old school game the way that it usually is, and like they just need to be playing harder or going and doing some crazy tricks.
Okay.
And to
So
me, it'll be good with that. And maybe like I think the 2-day format as opposed to one. I think maybe it was me, you, or
2 day for
somebody
sure.
else that was talking. Like I would be cool with the celebrity game because I was chilling on that Sunday. I did a little cleaning up and a little reading. But by the time 5 o'clock, like they could have did the celebrity game at like 2 or 3, and I still would have watched all day.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think I think they need to go ahead one, let me talk about your WNBA point.
Okay.
If I'm the WNBA, I wouldn't want that because it's like when the NBA was having all these great All-Star games, y'all wasn't calling us. So don't call us when y'all having bad All-Star games. Now bring us in the fold. Like, fuck all
That's
that.
fair.
Fuck all
That's
that.
fair.
We advocating clock for all All-Star games. Fuck all that. Even if I'm Nike. Nah.
Fair. Okay.
Y'all
Okay.
been doing
Okay.
that. Keep that over there. Now we got to build
Okay.
something else up. You know what I mean? So that's kind of
Their
my
stuff is decent what they got going on. The girls are really like growing right now. I
yeah.
love to see it. Yeah.
So that's the first one. Like I really wanted to because I thought that same thing, but then I was like, nah, they gotta build their own thing up. The next thing though, I think that you make it 2 days, right? Because the NBA All Star Weekend has become an NBA All Star Conference, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
become this business thing, and so I think that what you have to, I think this is, I would Friday, um, you have the rookie sophomore game and then
Okay.
we do no, excuse me. Friday, we
What is it?
do a
The Rising Stars?
concert.
Man?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we do a concert Friday, a big concert where everybody woo, and then we do the skills challenge. We do the dunk contest and the 3 point, or the 3 point dunk, or the 1-on-1. If they're gonna add the 1-on-1, so we take out the
Would love to
skills.
see that. Yeah, yeah,
Take
yeah.
out the skills. We have the 1-on-1. We had the 3 point, and we had the dunk contest. Sunday, early on, we had a rookie sophomore game. Let the young guys get out there at that same court because they usually be at 2 different courts. And then Saturday
Mm.
and then Sunday late night, we throw our second game in the same city. You know what I mean? Kind of
Okay.
throwing
Okay.
that flow off a little bit like that or whatever. Because Friday they need to just go ahead and make it like they need to do an NBA showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Throw like a big concert, the
Mm-hmm.
concert, the sponsors, the fans, Friday night. The
That would
NBA
be
is
fun.
throwing a show.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so what I would do is I would make the All-Star weekend more about the All-Stars. So the mandatories would be at least 3 All-Stars in the 3 point contest. Y'all get to pick. But 3 All-Stars got to be in it. I don't care who. Y'all could throw Joker out here. Put Joker out here.
That would be fun to see.
The
That would be
All
fun to
Stars
see.
are
Yeah, yeah,
selecting
yeah.
Joker. They selected. They want to BS it, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
now it'll still be interesting. Three All
Yes.
Stars. It'd be
Yeah.
something to talk about.
Exactly.
You got to do the 1-on-1 contest. Is nothing but the All Stars. So we
Mm.
don't care if you Cam Reddish and you think you no. We don't. Nobody cares. We don't care.
Mm.
It's the NBA. Everybody can hoop.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Right, right,
saying?
right, right, right.
From the All Stars, 5 of y'all or 6 of y'all need to have a 1-on-1 King of the Hill,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's it. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
you got my I'm
And
salivating a little
then
bit.
and then the dunk contest, what they do is 2 All-Stars got to compete. Again,
Uh-huh.
y'all could make Darius Garland go out there. If y'all want to make the young dudes do it, put Victor out there. which y'all get to decide. 2 All-Stars, and the All-Stars get to pick the other competitors. So so maybe we'll give the All-Stars one person that they feel like that's not an All-Star that they like, nah, we making him come play. You know what I'm saying? Bobo. We put Bobo in it or something crazy like that.
Right.
And I'm letting them pick the other 3 people for the the 3-point contest. So 3 All-Stars, 3 non-All-Stars, get the other 3 best shooters in there. And then I'm letting them pick the other 2 people for the dunk contest. You know what I'm saying? Like they get to pick the other 2 people because they know the high flyers, they know the dudes that's like, and then that way it's All-Stars throughout the whole thing. They got to put it on. I'm gonna work with some of try to work with them too. Like, here's the city. I know it's hard because they do it at beforehand, but like the All-Stars at least got to select who would y'all want to host? Who would y'all want to perform?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it needs to be because now these dudes have such bigger brands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they need to host it. Like it's hosted by the NBA All-Stars. And then
okay.
And my last thing would be, well, 2 things. In the immediacy, sorry Nike, I love this, but for the next 3 years, we're going back to everybody wearing their team jerseys. Just for nostalgia. If they just did that right there, everybody would be dicks would be hard. Everybody's crowding the NBA. They're listening to us. Oh my God, they got something right. Everybody would be in love with that. So just give the people that for 3 years. Then we go back to selling our jerseys. And then
they still manufacture those though anyway, don't they?
Right. They still make them anyway. So that's what I'm saying.
They still make money. Okay.
Just right. But I know just make an All-Star edition. Lakers jersey All-Star edition, but it's the Lakers yellow.
Right.
We want to see the team jersey. We're bringing that flavor back. And then the last thing is we make it give them that full week off. Because Kyrie said basically the problem with the All-Stars and the reason that they actually acted like this is because they don't get the full week off. And so I was like, wow, that's really talking about coworker XYZ. Me and you work at the agency. If just because me and you were the tightest people on our team and on Christmas break, we had to work 2 more extra days, 3 extra days.
I'll be proud.
Because I think that's something that people don't take into account. Like these dudes are looking at it like work. This is their coworkers.
Yeah.
But now that my whole team, they in Cabo, they with their wives, they on break, they kicking it. I'm in Indianapolis. I'm low key pissed. I'm just
it's cold as hell right now.
And I understand they make more money. I understand all that. But the NBA should have not come back until yesterday, Saturday. No games. So after that Sunday, like we got to try to make it so that they get we giving our All-Stars the full week off. Like to help incentivize. Because it's like we the conference winners, so East West, they get the finals home court, but then also All-Stars, y'all are carrying the league. We're giving y'all the full week off for All-Star break. And then they really put it all up. So the NBA could be like, yeah, I mean, you guys like the All-Stars didn't take it seriously. It's they All-Star show. They put the 2 worst dunkers, then they would just get chastised. And so then they could be less bitches about it. Because that's what it was before. It was like, because the dunk contest was just new, you had no precedent for it. But because I was an All-Star, I'm up here in Chicago. Yeah, I'm going dunking a dunk. We're the only people up here type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Once it got bigger, D-Wade and them talk about it became more than an All-Star game. They have media. They have their brands. They get off. I think their last game is on Wednesday. So the Wednesday, Thursday, they got to be down there Friday. So I'm asking y'all, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, be down there. And shit, we might give y'all that whole week. No games till Monday. No games till that Monday. So, because they probably got to report back probably like Saturday then. If they had games Monday, and we'll have a full slate Monday after All-Star. That'll be a big thing. Every team going to play. Trade deadline is already done. We're going to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be my solve for it, just to incentivize them and just put it more, let them play a bigger role. Because right now, they don't play a role in it at all. It's just like, show up.
Right.
Do this. But then it's like, it's all based off of them.
Right, type shit, type shit. So I will say first, love your passion about basketball. As a longtime friend of yours, just heard you be like, oh yeah, I be forgetting Ryan really loves the game.
This is it. This is it, man.
You have thought about this shit. No, I like the angle of the all-star involvement, and I like the ways that you were trying to figure out how to incorporate them in it. That's super tight. Also, with the one-on-one game and having it be all stars, I thought I was salivating over that because it's like when you hear the stories of like hoopers practicing together and all the stuff they do behind the scenes, you
Yeah.
never get to actually see it, but the stories be so fucking epic. So to be able to actually get Kevin Durant versus Giannis or some random shit like what y'all was working out together and like actually hooped and KD got his shit off on you, but Giannis like, no, I need my lick back. The whole world
You know what I mean?
like that would
Whole
be awesome
world.
for oh man, to like the Mike versus LeBron story. LeBron in high school going crazy. Like what? Granted, we're not gonna
16.
see that on the all-star level, but boy, oh boy, I wish it's so
You know?
many things that could happen.
So
I guess my
that's
one
fire.
question though would be how do you feel in some of that empty space? Because the other thing is it is about bread. Like I don't I think I might have missed if you did say. I don't think I heard much Saturday involvement. Like, did you watch any of
Oh,
the
no, I
the
watched the whole
speeches and
thing.
dinners and all that stuff? Because I watched some of that as well.
So
But
so that's why I asked about the TNT part, right? Because now TNT is producing this
mm,
extra stuff and making it
oh, that's
5 hours
yeah.
long.
Okay,
So
okay,
to me, no, I'm saying Friday. We still Friday celebrity game. So I like the celebrity game
okay.
on Friday, but I'm saying we co-opt that into like this celebrity game slash concert
Right, right,
slash
right,
big
right, right,
production because
right.
they're entertainers anyway. So like the
Mm-hmm.
NBA had like like I said, if they would have been like I can't think of somebody. 15 minutes the weekend. Boom, weekend came out. Did
Type shit.
15 minutes. All
Okay.
right, we'll be back. They'll come
Right,
back.
right, right, right,
Somebody
right.
else did 15 minutes. Be like, damn, Friday night, someone this was going
Yeah,
crazy. It's an
it's
all
gonna be lit.
star.
People will sit down and watch those
They will
performances.
watch performances. Boom,
Yeah,
because it's the
yeah,
NBA.
yeah,
Okay, boom.
exactly.
Then we do the celebrity game.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrity game. Then in the middle of that, have a tight concert again. Somebody else did their 10 minutes in the celebrity game. And that's Friday. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Like, and maybe whoever is hosting this was saying, if I was ESPN, because then we're saying TNT don't show up till Saturday and Sunday, and it's hypothetical. Because
Right. Okay.
because
Okay. Okay.
ABC
Okay.
has the celebrity game. Disney.
Okay.
They put
Okay.
that on
Okay.
technically. So
Mm.
then I'm saying Saturday night with the NBA, I'm like, yeah, let's host like a sports center, the All Star Sports Center. Like, let's get the dudes who part
Mm.
of the NBA, have them on here, the celebs, the fun. Like that's the
Right. Right.
musicians.
Right. Right.
Boom,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Then Saturday, that's what I'm saying. Saturday, then you cut it, you cut it shorter, and you have some type of programming leading up. So that's what I'm saying. NBA got to work when they filming. You know what I'm saying? Like they got
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Kobe
Yeah.
special, the Kobe special come on before like an hour programming block. Right there, we make some type of production. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Whatever the
Mm-hmm.
city, like every city has some type of basketball story
Yep.
that's
Yep. Yep. Yep.
worth
Yep. Yep.
telling.
Yep.
NBA
Mm-hmm.
presents, bam. And then Saturday, that's what I'm saying. We just do that skills challenge. They try to make the skills challenge last like 3 hours. It's like 3 hours,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's
It
like
could be
two and a half
shorter.
hours. It could
Yeah.
probably be
Yeah. It
two
could be
hours for
shorter. Yeah.
real. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
the
But it's
average
like,
NBA
damn,
game only about 2.5 or so hours anyway. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
It
And
should not be longer than the actual game.
on Saturday, you have, like I said, five, 3, 10 All Stars participating on Saturday night.
Okay, okay, okay,
10
okay.
All Stars. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, LeBron, you can't be in the 3 point contest. Like, you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, LeBron with a
Hmm.
3 point, we lost
Hmm.
3 point contest. Whatever. One on
Right,
one,
right,
3 point
right,
dunk. And then Sunday, like I said, let's say we start the rookie game 5 to 7.
right. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the
Hmm.
rookies, sophomores, they get their broadcast time because we want to highlight them. We want to promote the new stars. You know what I'm saying? And then Sunday,
Right.
7 to 9, it's the
That's the real game.
it's the guys. And I
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
actual
yeah.
going to a score. I would just make the score like 150, 175, something like that. Like first to
Mm,
150.
mm. Because
You know what
they,
I'm
I
saying?
mean, hell, regular NFL games be like that. It was who was it, bruh? It was somebody had 44 in the first quarter the other day. I forget it.
And
I don't know if
they try to do like too much entertainment on that Sunday. When you
Yeah.
there, you want it to be that intense basketball. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I mean,
damn near
that's
trying
what
to
it's
make
all
it
about for real, for
like
real.
NCAA tournament style. Like let these young dudes come out here. You know what I'm saying? Like some type of incentive for them. Like come out, play hard, put on the show for your conference, for your team, get the support because
Mm-hmm.
y'all on Sunday. And
Mm-hmm.
then then the big guys is like, yeah, East West. So some of y'all, this really is going to matter who gets home court
Mm-hmm.
in the finals thing.
Right,
And
right,
then yeah,
right,
we go into
right.
170, like we just go into 150 kinda. Like
Mm-hmm.
because I am absolutely against the world versus the USA. And we can end this here
Yeah, I'm not that interested in seeing that
as we
person.
go on to Black Captain America. They talk about the world is catching up to the America. Impossible. The
Now, are they
world
saying
is
that
not
military wise, economically, culturally, when they
talking about
say that?
basketball. Talking about basketball. Talking about the
Oh, okay. You
Olympics. You
talking
know,
about
they talking
still?
about
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Captain America. Okay, okay, okay,
they
okay.
saying the world is catching up. Impossible.
They
You
got
can't
some hoopers, but they not better than
talking
America.
about the world.
Yeah, I
It's the
know. I
world
know.
versus USA, not just one country.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
If
yeah.
Wimby don't play in the Olympics, France cooks. We ain't worried about France, bro. Do France got Jason Tatum? Do France got, you know what I'm
Oh
saying? Do
man,
France
right,
got
right,
Trey
right.
Young?
Real,
Now, if
real,
France had
real,
Trey
real.
Young, then I might feel a little different. Damn, the Trey Young, we got it. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have
Got
Trey
you.
Young. We got Trey
Right,
Young.
right, 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 right.
We got Paulo Bencurl. You know what I'm
Right, right,
saying?
right, right, right,
So
right.
stop all that shit, man. Stop. They can stop that shit. I do not want to see the world versus like no. This is the NBA. This is the world. This is the
They,
NBA versus the world in
I
real
think it
life.
definitely has more to do with them just trying to keep expanding globally. But I think it's time. Like, I'm okay with Wemby being the face of the NBA, him being a global. When I was over in London a couple years ago, I was asking him like who were the most popular shoes or whatever they were selling at the Nike Town, like the big one in London. It was bronze. Like I asked Jersey. It was Bron, Giannis, damn near Giannis was like right behind him. He probably might be selling more now. That's a
Mhm.
ton of Nigerians and Africans over in London as it
Right.
is. I can see that happening or whatever. And that was like right around when they won their ring too. So I'm
You
like,
know.
okay, bam, bam, bam. SGA, Canada, yeah, you're not American, but you like still a
Man, we
Western
claiming him, bro. This
country.
nigga went to
Like,
Kentucky, bro. Stop playing,
like,
bro.
yeah, so it's like
This
him,
nigga
bam.
dressed like Iverson, bro.
He
We
that he,
claiming
he
him.
that he that boy though. I give him that. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I mean like the new thing is the Luca situation. Like he got busy last night finally. I know he kind of
I'm
still shaking some
hobbling
rust
around. I
off his
hate
feet.
watching Luca play. Be out there hobbling around and shit,
Yeah,
bro.
I
Like,
do
what's
I
up?
do want to see him like whatever the more in shape for him looks like him actually bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah,
He'll be a doozy, man, because he
a
got a
dog.
mean step back. Just take
Yeah,
some of that chub off and make that a little get off me. He
bro.
gonna be
Something.
doing damage, man. So I don't know. We can see that basketball as a sport, as a global sport, is growing. And I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I look at these ratings conversations and all that. It's like we still so much of ratings. It's the same thing with like talking about album sales nowadays because people are still consuming this media. It just
Yes.
is not in these old Nielsen sound scan type of
And how
systems.
could they? How
And
could they? With Netflix
I
out.
respect the OGs. Like I'm not gonna say that they don't matter, but I don't think that we figured out how to measure these new media metrics fully yet. And from
Yeah.
working in advertising, you know how much like you can see the impact of it a lot more than you can actually look at the numbers and be like, oh well, da da da, it's not really doing much. And the NBA is clearly still making bread. These teams are getting paid. These players are
Come
getting
on, man.
paid.
Come on,
So
man.
like, I don't know, man, getting caught up in all of this, whatever. But yeah, how was Captain America though?
So I'm admittedly deep into the MCU. I'm into the cinematic
Okay,
universe. I'm
okay,
into the MCU. I'm not gonna sit here in
okay,
front like I'm not. Okay.
okay.
I and so the Captain America Winter Soldier show that was on Disney Plus. Uh,
Okay, I
I
remember
would
seeing ads for that. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I would have given that like out of a 10, like a 7, 7.5. Just
Not
for
bad.
like comparing it to MCU, like just watching it straight up. It's an interesting concept, like, but you would have had to have watched the MCU to kind of be like, what the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So the movie, um, spoilers for anybody. I'm not gonna tell like the whole plot, but the movie is more of a Captain America slash the first Incredible Hulk sequel,
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
right? So like the dude who was like Harrison Ford comes in as President Ross now, because the guy who was playing Ross before, Sergeant Ross, he died or whatever. So the
Mm.
original guy from the Incredible Hulk, and he did all the way up until like Endgame or whatever. Like
Oh
so he
wow.
had
Okay.
been
Okay.
in the
Okay.
show like
Okay.
for a long. I only know him as Sergeant Ross. You know what I'm saying? He's an old
Word.
man by
Okay.
that point. I'm sure he did hella roles, but that's what I'm saying. He had been doing that long enough to where that's where I recognize him from. And
Okay.
so
Okay.
now Harrison Ford was replacing that guy. And so a big, and I would like your thoughts on this. Like when I think people are misunderstanding that when the Marvel Cinematic Universe started, it was not with Disney.
Right. 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 Right.
And Disney is only going to take so many risks. They're going to have so many hands touch a project,
Mm-hmm.
especially a non-animation project, going
Yeah.
back and doing the history on like Touchstone, doing the
Mm-hmm.
history on just like previous companies that they've tried to start and like what
Mm-hmm.
their angle is kind of for their shareholders, I guess, or just their creative vision of what a Disney project is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were rumors before for this movie that there is a character who is a Israeli superhero that was supposed to be in this movie, and they had to do a lot of
Oh, I
revision.
think I saw. Yeah, I think I saw people tweeting about that
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, the movie didn't touch on racial things. The
Mm.
movie didn't touch on government corruption from a crazy president like they could have,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
It took away
Right.
the Israeli part, so it doesn't talk about these international things. But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
they marketed it as like, you know, that the Red Hulk is in it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know any like if you just didn't watch it, so you're just like, oh, the Red Hulk is in this. Like, why is the Red Hulk in
Right.
this?
Right. 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 Right.
Instead of the movie being like a espionage kind of wartime. Like they had a movie called The Immortals
Okay.
where
Okay.
um this celestial being started to come out of the earth basically. Like societies build up these celestial beings
Okay.
and
Okay.
they're in society's energy once it gets to like 80 billion people or something like that. It feeds off that and then it hatches from these planets
Okay.
basically, and
Boom.
they
Okay.
grow the next planet civilization, but obviously towards the end you die because this thing explodes out, right?
Right. 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 Right.
So
Right.
in the
Right.
Immortals movie they come to find all this plot out and they freeze this celestial being, so he's in the
Yeah.
Indian Ocean. Boom,
Just freeze it down there.
boom, he's just stuck. He bam, right?
Right.
So instead of them saying this movie is about we got this crazy new president who has been against aliens and the world and all the stuff that has happened, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and Japan and France and this other country have all raced to take control of this being that nobody has claim over, right? You just laugh like that is a movie in
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Captain
Yeah.
America is now black and he's dealing with these things. And how will he? This is his big first mission as Black Captain America, right?
Quick question: were the MAGA racists like? I imagine they were mad that Captain America was black. Is that
And they're
something?
mad about everything. The comic book racists are racist. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
extra racist for fictional
Okay.
characters. So when that's the thing. I feel like the people who were into the MCU knew that
Mm-hmm.
Sam Wilson, that's his name, that he was going
Okay.
to be the next Captain America, but he had proven that. Sam Rogers chose him. He went through these things. He earned, like he was a sidekick. Like he earned the
Right. Right.
mantle
Right.
of it. So for Marvel to kind of just like I said, to not give the movie away, for me to say it's not like a black issue movie to where the black Captain America got to deal with this racist president, or he's not even racist. He just is like against Captain America, and
Okay. Okay.
and
Okay.
just but he's dealing with it as a black man and having to conform and through these trying times. It wasn't about that. It just was like, well, let's just try to make a superhero movie. And it's just
Right.
like, so it's not a movie about anything then, really.
No
The first
tension up in there for real. For
the
real.
first Captain America is like, damn, I become the super soldier. We don't know the effects of this. Then I wake up and it's like the 20th century, like the 21st century, and I'm dealing with the friends that I lost. I'm dealing with the regret of not falling in love. I'm dealing with just
Mm,
being a man out of place. That's interesting. It's not the most
right,
interesting, but that's a
right.
story that you could
Yeah,
tell.
it's something there. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, and that's actually what I've been seeing because you know, you and a few other homies like really into the MCU, so I think the algorithm just throws me stuff from
Right,
time
right,
to
right,
time.
right.
But it does seem like the more devoted, like tier one fans of the MCU are really looking for some rebranding and re-rocking of Marvel sometime soon because it just seems, and even I've seen just regular average customers. I've only watched a few of them. It's so much, it'd be hard to like keep up for real
Right, right,
at
right.
this point. But a lot of people talk about how it just be action sequences, just a bunch of like action sequences for real. Some
And
slow
that's
motion
not
fight
true. And
scenes.
to
Okay,
me,
so it's
that's
not
not
that
true.
bad. Okay,
That's what I'm
okay.
saying. It's a thing of like, if you ever just got a Saturday, you want to smoke a lot, you just want to chill out, get on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
They got this sequential order that you can watch them on.
Mm.
You'll have a great time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like
okay,
it's
okay,
not like
okay, okay,
the movies are what they are. They're a new
okay,
brand of
okay.
action films. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Those early movies, they have a lot of heart in them. Chadwick
I've seen quite a
Boseman,
few of the earlier joints.
well,
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman with Thor, then the Guardians of the Galaxy with James Gunn did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, these are
Mm-hmm.
characters that people never even. I didn't know nothing about these characters, and I've
Right,
come
right,
to
right, right.
enjoy these movies now. You know, so it was a miss by Disney here. It was a missed opportunity. The movie
Mm.
wasn't the worst movie. I would give it like a 6.5, 7. It's not the
Okay,
worst
okay,
movie
okay.
ever, but like I said, it was just an opportunity for them to like say something within this. And I know just based off of the reshoots and Disney probably just kind of being Disney, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, well, we ended up not getting anything. And then
Right,
y'all
right, right,
gave
right.
away the whole movie with now we just know dude is the Hulk. It's building up to that's a big surprise of the movie. It's like,
Right,
well,
right, right,
they're
right,
like,
right.
well, what's wrong with him? It's like, you know what's wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's that kind of a
Oh
thing, you
man.
know. Like we know what's the. It's like if Rush Hour is just like they showed in the trailer. We got so young. It's like,
Right, right,
well,
right, right. Well, shit. Well, what happens in the middle there?
it don't matter what happened because I
Right, right.
know. But to that point, they could have made it about like all the racial stuff, the international people hating America because they could be blaming America for all the stuff that's happened in the MCU. At
Mm,
first, Tony Stark, he's American. You know what I'm saying? He's the head of the Avengers. Captain America, like Thor and them are aliens. They're not even from here. Like,
mm.
you know what I mean? So they've done so much that this was a movie where it was like, oh, we could really kind of start going in on some of this, and it just was like, no, just just not gonna talk about it at all. It's just
Damn,
an hour and a
damn.
half of just kind of not
Yeah, I
really
mean, I
addressing
feel
it.
like that's also that is. I think that is kind of the Disney thing. Like Disney, they're a family brand. Like I've seen them strategic pillars and brand guidelines. It's like, oh, that's why it all like. I mean, shout out to them for having those systems very tight.
Mhm,
Like
mhm,
at
mhm.
this point, they over 100 years old, pretty much. So like, we kind of know what to focus on Disney, but they got to have at least like an innovation department or something, man, where somebody taking some risks. They be trying to lot of shit. I mean, they own like 20th Century Fox or whatever the case may be, and that's something. Some FX, that's something, but that's like
FX is
some
something.
TV. You know, it's very like TV-ish still. I would love to see something like you could flex a little in the MCU. I get it if you don't want to
Yeah.
like make an edgier Lion King or something. You shouldn't
Right.
have
Right.
to. You don't need to.
Right.
You don't need to make the park needs to say exactly how it is because people go there for that. But when you own so much as
But
this
you
massive conglomerate, you have arms long enough to get out there and actually try to like do something. Because all you need is just a little bit of an uptick and
nah,
a
man. You
little
can't.
rejigger and
You
get people hyped
uh,
again.
you can't, and we can move after this because I don't want to get stuck
Hmm.
on MCU and Disney. But you can't. Like I was an adult when these movies came out when I started watching them, and
Okay.
then I started seeing like kids how they react to the MCU. I'm like, oh
Hmm.
no, you have to make this kid friendly. It's mandatory.
Oh,
Too
okay,
much
okay,
money. Too much money. Too much
okay.
money. And it makes sense because okay, when we were kids, what was the best superhero movie you saw as a kid?
As a kid, It's just what coming to my head first. Like
Yeah,
maybe the Batman. What is it? Batman Forever, the one with Mr. Freeze in it.
okay, right. That's the first one I was thinking of too. Probably one
Okay.
of the
Oh, that's tight.
Batmans.
That's tight.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, man, the MCU is that on 10,000.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? It's that on 10,000, and then these little kids got to grow up with Black Panther.
yeah.
But Kendrick Lamar movie, Black. I don't even know the equivalent of that. For it's like
Yeah.
that's the equivalent of like a Denzel movie, and then at the end, Jay-Z just came on. That's the equivalent of that for us. It's just like we would
And
have
bro
been
performed
in
that at
love
the
with that
Super
shit.
Bowl. I'm like, because people's like, he don't have this. I'm like, bro, he did the soundtrack to one of the highest grossing films of all time.
Of
Like
all
he
time,
definitely
bro.
has hits that
Come on,
broader people will know as well. But
you
yeah,
know.
carry on.
So yeah, man, that's all. It's just that like I once I started to understand like how much kids are into it, I was like,
Yeah,
oh, like I'm just aware of the crazed adults and millennials and Gen Xers that are into it.
type shit,
Once I
type
saw
shit.
how it was affecting the kids, I was like, oh yeah, you 7 years old, you watch Spider-Man. This is the
Yeah,
best thing you've ever seen in
yeah.
your life
And
by
that's where you're getting your
miles.
billions from. You getting your
Yes.
billions from them kids.
Yes, by miles. That's the best thing. And as a parent, you're so into like I bought my kids
Right.
all the MCU movies, bro. Yeah, what's
Yeah,
the new one
of
here?
course.
Doctor Strange. Turn it on. Like you just not tripping, like because
Super lit.
you can. That's one of the few things that you could just let your kids watch, and a titty not gonna pop out, or you know what I'm
Right.
saying, or
And they do have some shows though that got a little edge and grit to it though, right? I feel like they do kind
yeah.
of get up in their TV shows. Yeah.
Well, Daredevil, they're reprising Daredevil that used to be on Netflix. That's gonna be on Disney Plus now,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's gonna
That
be
was one of the
rated
ones I was
R.
thinking of.
That's gonna be rated R. So
Okay.
Marvel, of course, like you said, they did Blade. Marvel has had harsher
That
stuff,
was
but
Blade was before Disney copped them though.
yes. Disney, I want to say, came around shortly after the Avengers. That's what I'm
Mm.
saying. All that stuff that's not Disney.
Stan Lee cashed out, boy. He went out the right way.
Cashed
Shout
in,
out,
cashed
real
out.
legend, man.
Cashed in, cashed
I
out.
don't, but that's your life work. You either passing that down if you really have like an apprentice protege understudy, because like that ain't necessarily something you give your kids unless they really like you in that regard.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
put
they
that
gotta
off,
really be
bro.
wanting to do that shit.
They get
Yeah.
the inheritance money. Like this is
Yeah, I
what
got
we
some money. They good.
you good.
They better than most people in the world. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, my daddy Stan Lee. You know what I'm saying? Like you good, bro. It's chilling. So just get you a job to get out the way.
Right,
Don't get the wrong
exactly.
chick pregnant,
I'll
basically.
get some Disney stock, you'll be good.
You know what I mean? No Bob Iger or whatever. Let's do something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Chill out. Yeah, man. So that's that. And then going into more corporate media. Listen to the
Mhm.
Drake Party Next Door. Um and you know, as DJs, I'll say this as DJs. I never thought that Kendrick Lamar and Drake, when you in hindsight now, it makes total sense. I never thought Kendrick Lamar and Drake would be the great curtain reveal of music expertise.
Mm,
I did not know that the Drake and Kendrick beef would be the great reveal of music expertise within society, right? And which sounds crazy for a person that has surrounded by idiots tatted on him. Sounds crazy.
right.
Right. But even that, maybe because I have always been an equal fan of them both, I had up until the beef, I had appreciated them both equally. Even with all Drake's flaws, even with Kendrick's experimentation that sometimes
Mhm,
leaves some
mhm,
fans a little lost,
mhm,
I was able to be appreciate both of them. And with this Drake and Party Next Door album,
mm,
it's still as a true Drake Party Next Door fan, it's a lot of Drake. And I guess I don't listen to music made for hookah lounges.
mm,
And that might have been exposed for me here too. That
mm.
like I have been liking some of the songs, but rolling up a backwood, stuffing a cone, and pulling out the hookah are three different vibes. Those are
Right.
three different vibes. And I'm just learning that like the consumption, like I said, to me, it's exposing the expertise thing. That
Now, when you say expertise, what do you mean? Just like people who truly like know music?
if all the music that you listen to is presented to you by the radio and
Mm-hmm.
or, and I'm speaking from the black experience, and or the taste preference of the most popular trap rapper in your
Mm-hmm.
region, hood street rapper.
Mm-hmm.
You'll talk to some black girls, they know Young Nudie back and forth,
Yeah.
right?
Shout out to the nudie girls though.
But I'm using Nudie
No,
as an
no,
example because like
no,
Nudie is
I
like
know
an
you are.
actual,
I just fuck with girls who fuck with young
but
nudie.
I'm saying like Nudie, Shiesty, like technically these are emerging artists. These are
Mm-hmm.
these like Shiesty kind of took off, but he was still like in terms of just music culture and his whole,
Right.
these are emerging artists that through the streets, through street listener connoisseurs, they were able to find probably the
Mm-hmm.
DJs and just niggas in the streets
Mm-hmm.
that just be combing YouTube and knowing the
Yeah,
hottest, right?
yeah.
Those are connoisseurs actually of a subgenre that
Mm-hmm.
people kind of residually get the effects from. And or the only other music you listen to is just the most popular artist signed. You don't have the expertise to really talk about music and the nuances. And that
I'm,
is exactly what most Kendrick Lamar diehard fans are. They live on the fringes of the nuances in his music. You know what I'm saying? Like that is why
yeah,
they like him.
I'm in full agreement with you. I just want to say, on top of the expertise, I would also just throw in range. You don't have the
Okay.
range. Yeah. But
And that's
as
kind of what I mean, the expertise. That you don't have the
yeah.
depth. So you were saying the same thing, like the depth in knowledge and
Mm-hmm.
thinking to know that, like, bro, Barry White is a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not you know, even if I don't listen to a lot of Drake and Party Next Door, I know what the fuck the vibes are. And
Mm-hmm.
and I hate
That's
these
a song
new,
on the project.
no, it's
Admittedly,
not.
I have not listened to it. It's
I'm
a song
saying
called
Barry
Barry White,
White.
though.
I'm saying Barry White the singer.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, that's legend.
So I'm
Here
saying I
in
know the
the
vibes.
Florida. Yeah, bro.
I know the
Go
vibes,
there.
right?
Yeah.
So for to people to try to say, well, you just don't understand the vibe, you didn't Drake, that's not a good answer. But I will say, since when did, that's what I'm saying, these are these new Drake fans, Party Next Door fans.
Mm-hmm.
The niggas are the people who really got the most whatever your sexual preference is as far as the bitches go. You know,
Yeah.
those were weekend fans. Drake and Party Next Door was not the music that you listen to for the bitches. When it was coming up in the blog era, once the weekend came out, it was the weekend, and Party Next Door was this random rendition of something.
Yeah. He was who
But
Drake signed because he couldn't sign the weekend,
come
really.
on,
And
man, when
I'm
you
a
talk,
fan of Party Next Door, but
I
we got
love
to.
Party Next Door, but come on, that's what I'm saying. When they want to talk about this OVO Toronto sound, let's just because the weekend blew up, let's not act like if the weekend decided to actually go back and do that shit right now, he would blow y'all out of the water.
Yeah.
And so that is just not lost to me. And
Mm-hmm.
so as the weekend just happened to drop a new project, and then I got to listen to their project songs, and it was snow up here in St. Louis, down in St. Louis. So I got to, it's cold weather. I had the environment. It's a
Yeah.
couple songs that stand out more than others, but it's like, yeah, I could just put together some of their other songs. I just don't want to hear Drake croon about his experiences with strippers or bottle girls or girls in the club or like,
I think we've moved past that. I think now as hip hop, and I think the battle was kind of like the closing of that chapter. I think for a lot, like the Kendrick thing is real. I do agree with you, and there's still going to be a subsect of people that always like that. As a known critic of Drake's and admitted hater at times, who I do like enough of his music to actually say I don't really hate the guy, but a lot of what I dislike about Drake, my main thing was, yeah, the fact that he never really did take risks and like his subject matter has gotten very monotonous over time. So I just never really engaged because he's a great MC. And I think he's a hell of a good R&B songwriter. I'm not a big fan of that style of R&B, but I'm not gonna sit there and call it bad. It was his impact on the game that I just saw was going in the wrong direction. I was like, that's not that we it was a fork in the road. And not to say that it should have been Kendrick or anything like that. There could have been others out there. And I think we do have like the Mount Rushmore this last like decade or whatever, with a Drake and a Kendrick and like a Future and a Thug, like all existing up on these levels. And also shout out Keith for what he did in his little pocket as well. But so many like Drake was the biggest, and people, especially in our new social media era, we're so in like it's so much stuff that goes into it. Like music really do be just kind of like a mirror of what society is at the same time. That's why I love it so much as an artistic genre as well. And art really do be imitating life. We've gotten to a very vapid, materialistic, empty, lonely, depressed society for real, for real. And also a lot of motherfuckers who don't have real relationships with their father, and don't men, women and men not having good relationships with each other because of all the other shit that was. And Drake, I think, represents so much of that. And I think also to a degree he's very inspiring. Like I think you can get a lot of motivational, aspirational vibes from him. It don't necessarily be for me, but I totally understand when people be like, oh, this was like that pregame music. It made you feel a thing when you was in college. Like I do get that too. That shit don't necessarily move me. So I'll let them rock in that regard. But I think between all of that, it's so much focus on numbers, stats, winning, number one hits, yada yada yada, money, cars, club, like all of these things that don't actually give people fulfillment in real life for real, for real. It's great to celebrate your wins. Like nigga, we made it. Bum, 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 bum. Like that's tight when you actually did something. But he created a generation of motherfuckers that don't really be doing nothing.
Wow.
Don't challenge themselves either, because Drake's music, that's the thing about Kendrick shit. It's not even super challenging for real, but it requires more thought than the repetitive stuff that you do get at the top of most algorithms on your Spotify playlist, and definitely what you get on the radio. So that's,
Wow.
and even with the Kendrick thing and all of that, I just think, and this is generally speaking, because there's a lot of motherfuckers that fuck with Kendrick that just truly like how it sounds. It's more soul up in the shit. It feels more human as well. And the experimentation, I think it allows for people to grow, even if they don't love Mr. Morale or actually thought Dan was kind of weak, even though I want to pull it to whatever. It's still like you get to see him grow. And that was always one of my top critiques of Drake. You don't really ever get to see him grow, and you don't really get to see or experience. I don't. Maybe you do get the real him, and if it is, he really is a piece of shit and not that interesting of a person. Like he an old nigga that just got a lot of money and all he does is talk about his money. It's like, oh, you don't really have like opinions on things or stand for something, or
Or like culture.
yeah, like, do you actually like, have you ever really been in love to like have an informed opinion on dating women? Like, because it's another thing to just have been
Bro.
out with a lot of women as opposed to truly experiencing the complexities and nuances of life and how that comes through with you. Because I really feel bad for the guy in retrospect if like his music is real, quote unquote. It's like, damn, bro, that's actually a
It's
fucked up life
sad.
to live. It's like it actually is sad up under there, because I can tell you real empty. And you can see it on his face sometimes. That'd be the hard part about it. Like after Kendrick beat him up and I got to like celebrate and do my fuck Drake run, I feel so more of like a human than human, like that as a man, because he a little older than us too. And it's like you are not the type of man I want to be in a couple of years. I'm here for the money. I'm here for the accomplishments. Like, yeah, work hard, get your shit. But like how Shaq even sometimes talks about how he
Mhm.
neglected so much his family, his marriage, and you retire, you a Hall of Fame, you got these rings,
Wasn't
millions
worth
of
it.
dollars, fame, prestige, and you probably could still go home to different women every day because you're still fucking Shaq and a rich man. You could still hook up with women at the club, but like that feeling of emptiness when you know that that is not what you want, and you kind of focus so much on bullshit to the point that you really lost all the things that people grow old and actually truly ultimately value out of life at the end of the day. And that's
Mhm.
rough. Meanwhile, Kendrick, a whole family man, niggas talk about marriage and marriage license, all that shit. Black people sometimes don't do that, but he been with his old lady, got babies with her. She beat her. Like that's his
Yeah.
lady. So
Yeah.
talking about that, I don't want to get too deep up into, but like Kendrick has, I think, done a very solid job of at least aspiring to be a better man and like actually setting an example for motherfuckers versus Drake in the club with Lil RT taking pictures and shit. Like the kid out on a school night in the fifth grade age. Like, and
Yeah.
you're endorsing this by nature of taking a picture with them. and allowing that to be posted. Even if you was there, I first be like, damn, that little kid here. It's like, I gotta take a picture with you at the studio or something, bro. Like, tell you keep doing your thing or something. I'm literally taking
Yeah.
a picture of you in the club where you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah. This is
Yeah, and
weird.
I just think like where we are as a society, it's like we kind of got to move past that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's a great way to put it. Like you said, society is changing, hip hop is changing. The leaders of hip hop are changing. But yeah, overall for the project, I hope that more than anything, it's a step forward past the battle.
Yes. Yeah.
Um and unless Drake is willing to actually re-engage and put some real time into it, because I'm actually all for the battle and continuing personally.
Same.
But
I love some sparring.
but but I am not for the battle and continuing if he cannot say his name. If
Mm.
he's not willing to say his name, then it's not worth doing. Cause like I'm
Yeah.
saying, 50 Cent and Rick Ross had a little battle and they would say each other's name.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't,
Mm-hmm.
it's up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just
This
that's what
is
it
part of
is.
MCing too. And
And
honestly, everybody
it's
ain't gonna
part of
like
being
it.
in
Drake
person.
thing, he want
Yeah.
everybody to be his fucking friend. And unfortunately, bro, when you the top dog, it's a lot of niggas that ain't gonna like you anyway.
Man,
But
even
to
if you're not the top
make songs
dog.
about having enemies and no new friends and shit like that, and then sobbing when niggas ain't really your friends, it's just like you ain't even standing on your own business, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I thought you said it was no new friends. Well, you the one who told us that. And now you upset. You know what I
I
mean?
got
So
enemies. I got fucking enemies. And that's why it never felt real to me. I mean, like Kanye is at least flawed in a way that even if he is fucked up, it all just feels like it. Like he's shooting from the cuff every time. So when
yeah.
people resonate with him, there's an authenticity, whether that upsets you or not, or you condone it or not. That's a conversation for a different
You
thing.
can see
But
where he coming
Kanye West
from.
is being who the fuck he is. Drake
Yeah.
is I think he really is an actor, bro. Like, and being able to see him host the ESPYs, which I think he has done a great job at doing. But you can
Yeah.
just tell he's able to like morph into these different people all the time. And maybe that's like also the biracial dilemma, because I've also heard mixed kids sometimes talking about that type of level of code switching and being like a chameleon of sorts, because you do exist as, we'll just go black white, like as a black person, as a white person in different environments, and sometimes you tend to also feel othered a lot. But the proliferation of biracials in America, I don't know how much of a struggle that should be when you're Drake, but you grow up differently, and like how you develop has a lot to do with where you came from as opposed to where you are
And
today.
I guess even with that though, and I can only go from America's standpoint, we can move on from this.
Mm.
But no, when you're black and white, you're black.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not black
Yeah.
and white. You're black.
Yeah.
And you have to be a black person with your white family. That is
Yeah.
not new. That is America.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why the slave masters did not take those little babies home. They said, "Oh, you could stay with the slaves because you're black."
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
what, like that is like to that point, and there has just footage and evidence of him not being of sub tied to some black culture. Not
Mm.
even if it's African American black culture, because you wasn't with your daddy all the time. But you
Right.
don't
Right.
seem
Right.
like a real nigga to the Torontoans either. The thing that you promote from Toronto and that should be foolishness. And that's all
Mm-hmm.
we, and that's just a common denominator that is just like
Mm-hmm.
has nothing to do with us. That's all you. I don't why ain't you put Nicholas Self on the album? Why
Yeah.
you ain't never? You the one who
Should
did
have
that. You
been
the one
did
who
that.
talked about. You didn't have to tell us. It was a reason that you told us you liked his little brother and did all that shit.
Right.
You
Right.
did that
Right.
shit.
Right. Right. Right.
So for you
Right.
to never have
Right.
no Knife Wonder beats, we can be like, that's weird,
Right.
and it
Right.
says something
Right.
about you. And
Right.
I'm not saying that you need to leave the club and go shit or try to get Knife Wonder played at the club, but I mean, you could have been I think he missed an opportunity. He could have been the great uniter of those things.
You
That was his
too.
whole
Yep.
thing. I got the
Yep. Yep.
backpack
Yep. Yep.
rappers in here with the street and like I'm merging a culture, and then you ended up losing to a person that really merged culture in a different way. And now in America, at least, you could just never come back from that. It's no beats good
Yeah.
enough. I don't feel like
Yeah.
unless
Yeah.
unless he say that man name and really have a hard ass rap. Niggas will give it to him.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he deserved at least a couple of like punches back right in the chest.
Yeah, he can win around. He deserved
like,
to run
I
around,
can't think of
man.
like, ooh, all right, I feel you.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
and I think that's probably the real thing ultimately. Like even with the whole lawsuit situation, like that ain't hip hop, bro. That ain't even black. You gotta either handle it in the streets or take your L. Like
You
for
said it's
real.
not
For
even
real.
black.
That's not what black people do. We niggas don't have money to be suing you like that. Maybe if you don't like Hove counter suing after his fucking shit got dismissed, I get my
Right.
lick back. That since you want to play this way, I play back with you. But
Right.
he'll muff you too, bro. Like some shit,
He'll
that's
muff
just
you too,
it's
man.
not our culture, and like that's just what make they not like us still so prevalent and relevant, bro. Like, dude, doing all these, I ain't even got to celebrate the run he on because it's actually phenomenal what he's doing on a commercial level. But like, he can chill. He just did the Super Bowl. You got kids in fucking villages from fucking Thailand to fucking Tanzania doing this dance and shit, man. Like, we talking about real global impact. That's Michael Jackson level type shit. And I don't really remember Drake having too many of those moments anyway. But like, he was a hell of a hit maker, man. If that's what he want to do, I like Drake's songs with the with the harmonies. I don't like what he
With the
act to.
melodies. Yeah.
Melodies, yeah. So it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, man. I don't know. But niggas ain't really trying to sing right now. I was having a conversation at work, just about like it was right after the Super Bowl too, or whatever. We were just talking about like the different ads and everything. And I just remember saying that it's just like I don't really think people are in like a kumbaya, come one, come all. Like let's party it up. Like it's about to get bleak, bro. With some of the policies that are happening. Like federal workers are used to having a decent income and like consistent paychecks and you're
Mhm.
firing tens of thousands right now, soon to be hundreds of thousands of them. Like that's going to have a direct impact on our
Right.
workforce. Like people won't have
And I
jobs, and there are
and I
not a bunch of
wonder,
new jobs out there to go work at.
bro, and I wonder when I saw that, the first thing that I thought was like a lot of those people I'm sure are almost at retirement age or at an age to where they
It's it's
may
it's,
not
it's the
want to.
millennials out there losing their jobs too. I just seen
No, no,
story.
not like that. But listen, what I'm finna say. Like, I wonder. Like, I saw that they were like firing like the park rangers, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'm just
yeah, yeah.
saying it like this. It's just random stuff. Like, how many times before you mess that kind of stuff up before people younger than them don't know how to do that shit anymore?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because like that has how our not how our work in our society has been like knowledge based passed down intern to exec or manager to so and
Mm-hmm.
so, and you
Mm-hmm.
learn these things from older people along the way. We got this weird generation, the Gen Z, that we have put in between digital IRL,
Right,
so many
right.
different crossroads that they stand at, and that was the first thing I thought. I was like, bro, what if they don't hire park rangers for like 6 years and they be like, okay, 6 years from now we want to start the park.
Right, right,
Nobody know
right,
how to do
right,
that
right.
shit no more.
Nobody don't know how to do it. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
you
Yeah, no,
know,
that's the scary thing. And cutting out like these are like real consequences, like people not being able to eat or get access to medicine, or even going to a park when we got massive wildfires that happen regularly, and you want to like stuff like that. We need people to be around for or whatever. It really is reckless abandon what they doing, and that's the scary part about it. It does look different than like for him to have dropped this many executive orders 1 month in, which is already more than what he did over 4 years or like in his first year, is insane, bro. Like we are just at the beginning.
we're
This
not
is
even
not
100 days
him on a
in.
victory run coming out. And they got Congress is like set up for this shit too. Supreme Court is in their favor for a lot of these policies that might have to make it go all the way up there. So it could get bleak, man.
Yeah,
Um,
you would just hope that those, well, you don't hold your breath on white Americans saying that they were wrong.
No, it'll be a dude. Some will. The good ones will. Yeah. But I mean,
Right.
we saw what the numbers was already. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Just people are stubborn, bro. It
Yeah.
just is a harsh reality of life, and I mean, you just got to make the best and values life's little luxuries, man. don't
Yeah.
don't let the brass go off on your Olympic medals out here.
Bro. Yeah, so you was telling me about that. I don't know if it's a controversy or what that is. Like,
I mean, I guess it kind of is in a little bit of like global sports and like luxury fashion community.
yeah.
Basically, so a couple of months ago, you might follow him, but like he been super popping. I know him from like early hashtag menswear blog era. But his name is like a Die Workwear or something like that, I think, on Twitter nowadays. But he's like this. He always gives these commentaries on people's suits now. I could be having
Oh
my
yeah.
Twitter pages messed up, but yeah, Derek, I think is his name. But yeah, he kind of that was who I first saw amplify the thing about the medals, like maybe around fall time or whatever, not too long after the Olympics ended. Some of like the brass was starting to rub off on some of the Olympic medals, and that was
Okay.
because
Yeah.
that was the whole thing. And now I guess some of like the thread on people's medals are starting to like come apart, and like athletes are also uploading those too. And it just was a whole thing because it's like Louis Vuitton designed them because it was Paris, the Olympics, yada yada, big French
Yeah.
fashion house, largest luxury conglomerate, bam, bam, bam. But yeah, like I was saying with you, it's just really it's honestly fucked up because I feel like it's just manipulation and exploitation of people. But yeah, man, these luxury brands are getting over on people. They making shit at the same Chinese luxury fashion.
Talking
I
about the same Chinese
is yeah,
spot.
it's getting made in many of the same methods that regular common street level brands are doing it, and I think that that's just such a disservice. Like I was rapping with you or whatever before we started recording. I appreciate the branding of these houses. Like I think Loewe is having a great moment right now. Rising Stars, like a Martine Rose, Gucci had a nice little run with Alessandro a few years ago. I would love to see what they do when they revive that shit. Celine Dior, yada yada yada. Like great branding, great accessories. Like they do the lifestyle shit really well. So I appreciate them as brands. But when it comes to that quality, it's all bad these days, bro. They getting it mad at the same fact as the Chinese folks that's making
Yeah.
like your Sheen and all of that stuff, and it's a
Making
whole
my shit.
racket of like people that are just throwing off the thread count just a little bit or the stitch off a little bit or whatever, making like legit bootlegs, the same quality of leather and all of this stuff. So I'm not saying it's bad. It's not official if it doesn't have that systemized sort of stitch to it or whatever. But that just once again goes to show that it's not that far off from like a knockoff and a real one are essentially the same thing. It's just a few stitches difference, and their prices are going up year over year over year because they're businesses and everything's about growth and capitalism. So it's just like they're trying to figure out ways to push this shit out more. The Asian Chinese market, Asian market, India's booming now is the largest country. Rise of Africa, big shit, social media, like they're proliferating themselves out so much. Nothing feels boutique anymore, bro. Nothing feels boutique anymore, and it's like
That's the
super
word.
mass
That's the
produced.
word.
Yeah, and like they're not growing in a healthy way, and they're honestly jipping consumers. I would say for the most part, not every fashion brand, but it's a lot out there that get exposed on the regular about the quality of the craftsmanship for a $3,000 handbag.
Yeah, I guess to me, that's a great point that you make that as we've become more of a global citizens, we have a lot more access to each other's resources. But, you grow up at the swap meet, where we go into the swap market, and it's like, I mean, these are not the Jordans. These
Right.
are not the Air Force Ones, but they are, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, people buy into brands. And I personally like the vision of Yeezy being clothes that are deemed socially cool but are affordable
Mm-hmm.
is a wonderful idea because a t-shirt is a t-shirt. I never looked at somebody fresher because they had on a Louis Vuitton t-shirt and I got on a hundreds t-shirt or a fucking Foot Locker t-shirt. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right. Right.
Like I never looked at that way personally. I never thought tennis shoes were better because they were here, there. Jeans are better. Like give me some Gap jeans and I will still be fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's maybe a difference between style, somebody having style, and like you said, the reasons why people buy these brands. And that's what you're saying is that the quote unquote previous reasons aren't as justifiable because the truth is, it's always been a lady that's been in New York that could sew you a better dress than what you was gonna be able to get at the store. It's always been a nigga that's making hand
Absolutely.
leather hand maker or whatever, crafting in the room back there that could make you a cold ass wallet. That's
Absolutely.
not, you know what I mean? And so, well, that's what you're saying. I've been seeing the kids not only being the dupes, But like I seen the trend, they got the Walmart sneakers on. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. I've actually been loving that. And I'm not even a big fan of Walmart, what they do to small
Right.
businesses, but I like that. I also saw the NAACP awards this past weekend, and I will
I
say Walmart
I
has been
just saw
putting it on like
I seen they did the collab with Carrots and
yeah,
Water.
yeah, yeah. No, I got to watch like the tidbit actually during the show. Now I thought
Okay.
that was cool, so I give him credit or whatever.
Yeah.
Capitalism is capitalism. That's really my gripe
It's
with it.
America. It's
Yeah.
America. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, you make a really good point about the luxury houses and what is luxury. And to me, not to jump ahead too far, but we were also talking about Supreme.
hmm
And to me, the quality that I always feel in a Supreme, whatever I buy, the durability of it. And I just know that, like, if I got a hoodie and it's just got the little small Supreme stitch, like, I'm buying that hoodie for me and for people who may, I think that that's cool, but this is a great hoodie. I could just wear this every day. I could
Right.
beat the shit out of it and it's still gonna be, or I could throw it on before I go to the little bar and still be
It's
good
still
too.
cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And still be good too. Like that functionality, like I feel like there is a sector of people within fashion or style or taste making
hmm
that feel like something can only be good if it has this level of exclusivity to it or a certain price tag. And that's just never been true. And so, to your point now, fast fashion, maybe we're reaching this breaking point, a boiling point of all these things, and something has to give.
Right, right, right,
Something
right.
has to give at some point in
No,
time.
yeah, no, and we can actually merge the preem with it or whatever, because that one, um, I think that they do put out some of the best quality accessible fashion because it's price tiers with this shit too. It's a lot of stuff that's super accessible. Sometimes you might have to spend a good two for the jeans or whatever, but they're jeans that's worth $200, hold up really well, and they actually get a good quality denim. And sometimes it should be stitched and others. Like Preem is good. Like I respect their price points or whatever. But it was a little thing you just said about like the exclusivity. I won't necessarily say for me that is a defining factor, but I'm not gonna front like that aspect of like the streetwear hype culture isn't a thing for me. I never like got off to it, but it is tight when it's like, yeah, you ain't got these like
Or,
at least for black folk, in St. Louis, we like to
yeah,
say it's some exclusive shit. I got
right,
something exclusive. It's like, yeah,
right.
that was the shit growing up. We was going up or whatever. You got to go all the way out to like Soka in West County to go get you some SBs.
True, true.
Everybody like, damn, like what is a now you ain't necessarily got to do that. You can order SBs online, but and that's the thing I think with the consumer behavior where we are as a culture that is so damn different. It's like online shopping. Shout out Jeff Bezos. You thugged it out for 20 years before you had a profit, but he changed the game, bro. And like the immediacy of shipping nowadays and how everybody else had to catch up to now where you could order your shoes and it be you can order on Monday, you could damn near have them motherfuckers by the weekend. For sure,
Yeah,
for sure. And
for
that's
sure.
usually that's just not a problem these days. But the physical, like going back into like physical retail, I think it's so much value in having it like an IRL experience. Obviously, like if you're a smaller brand, start off online, build your shit up, get your sales. Maybe if you got to go leverage something at the bank or whatever, but do some pop ups, get into that stuff because people want to connect with your brand in a physical way. But I do think that there is it is a good marketing tool, and I think it is also for your people who are your core audience. I think it makes them feel special when they have something that isn't always accessible. You do if you're a kind of a larger small brand or whatever, and maybe you just do a run of 50 from time to time. You're just like a designer. It's like, hey, I had like a graphic that I wanted to do, and it's just like come grab them, or even giving them away. Like really getting into that type of stuff. I think that's great for like your brand and building a community around your brand for sure. But definitely not in the sense of like what these luxury brands are doing. I don't think the exclusivity coming from price point is worth that much when everybody's fucking broke and going broke trying to get the shit. I
That's
think
true.
that's what. Yeah, I think for me it's more of that. And you know, if you want to flood some shit or whatever, you do an activation and you end up passing out 500 T's at Complex Con or some shit like that. Like that's still tight, and it's still such a small bubble because like I be having to
Yeah, that's
remember
still
how
exclusive. Yeah.
big like this fucking market and this culture really is nowadays, man. And I think that's the hard part because social media and even like it's so much clutter. You have to grow to amplify your voice enough nowadays, but so much intimacy in the relationship with brand and consumer is lost when you have to do these like mass produced large scale things or whatever, which kind of goes into the supreme point or whatever about like the Ernie Barnes collection or whatever. One great collection and lookbook, and well, the
Fire.
lookbook ain't even really dropped, but like the actual clothes lookbook did. They got some pieces because Supreme is consistent, and I
Yeah.
think for them that people were upset basically about the Ernie Barnes collab. Of course, we know it, Marvin Gaye, yada yada yada. If you a hip
Right.
hop head, you might know you some Camp Blow 2 with it or
Yeah.
whatever.
Kevlo.
You know,
Lucchini.
iconic black painter, artist, so on and so forth. Love to see it. And the pieces that they have are hard, but of course you get this backlash of people like, I'ma hate seeing white kids walk around in this shit. And it's just like first and foremost, a random white kid that probably would be inclined to buy Ernie Barnes from the Ernie Barnes Supreme collab probably fucks with Marvin Gaye music and love Lucchini
He's
anyway.
probably
You
an
can
ally.
understand yeah, he's probably recognized that reference. But just in general, for the Preem, like random anti-hype beast haters that like happen that don't even really buy the brand. First, hush up. Nobody's saying that shit about fucking Telfar. And that shit's everywhere. And I love Telfar. They actually are very hard.
Oh,
They be
I
going
love
crazy.
Telfar. I love Telfar.
But like yeah, we get very protective of a brand that y'all don't even buy. Y'all not you
Bro,
not
y'all
actually
do
not
not
gonna
buy
you
Supreme,
not gonna
bro.
buy the Preem Ernie Barnes anyway. So why do you care? And then also these white kids do not be buying the black reference points. I love that Preem does it. They describe themselves as like the ultimate New York brand. I love that for them because they do have
Yeah.
random shit like collabs with artists that you'll see at the moment in the Met. You have like these very like integrated hip hop head, like if you know, like a Smith and Wesson collab, who does
Yeah.
that? But then have 3 6 Mafia, the Andre 3000 T, but then like they got the first skate video was a Love Supreme back in 1994, 95, bro.
Yeah.
John Coltrane's just song playing with them skating. These guys are really into the shit that like the brand ethos is very much like authentically New York. And
Yeah.
aspects of New York are very black, but not everything, and they collaborate with artists across some like I don't Supreme I think has benefited the least from like the proliferation of like how black culture became like the culture and we became the mainstream
Huh.
and like, coincided with like sneakers and streetwear and all that shit and like they just always get the bad rep because nobody says this about Stussy, whom I also love, you know, and
I
it's
guess
like
because they're the biggest in the space that people try to automatically pin the worst parts of what's going on
yeah,
to
yeah. I think they're
Supreme.
just an easy like a pinata that you
Well,
could just
do you
swing.
feel that way? Okay. Because, I mean, was that not Tremaine's whole shaboinga boing of being like, yo, they doing XYZ, which I felt his argument was a bit weak personally
Yeah, I mean, I think
for
it
what
was
his gripe
opportunistic in
was.
that moment. I will say I have met some people that work at Supreme that is
Hmm.
not Tremaine Emory, and they have talked about that they've had some experiences as well. They don't feel that far off from what it sounds like to be black working in fashion or corporate America in
That's what I was
general.
gonna say. Okay.
So those experiences happen everywhere, and I don't because they probably generally aren't corporate people that end up going to work over to Supreme at some point. I don't think that they know that that's just kind of how it is being black working in these spaces anyway. Sometimes,
Yeah. Yeah.
and not to say that it's okay because it's absolutely not. But these do not be like some deep traumatic stories or anything that is inconsistent with working in any other industry as a black person
Yeah, I
in a
love how you put
position.
that. Yeah, I love how you put that.
So
That's
that was always kind of my thing, and I do feel like it was good PR for him when he was about to open up his store and really wanted to level up Denim Tears and all of that stuff. And
yeah,
I think I think he made the right decision. I respect him for it.
I do
But
agree
yeah,
with that.
I don't know. I just can't fully buy all of that, and I'm not him. So like if you felt that way, then cool.
Because I
I'm still
guess
confident.
Cause the
Tyshawn's still
gatekeep,
there. Knack's still there.
cause the gatekeep, I guess, to that point, that's kind of like on the same side of me being like, well, I don't want white kids to wear my Million Man Mark shirt.
Right,
Well, right,
right.
if they identify with just like what I'm doing, or I don't want a white kid to wear Black History Month is every month
White kids
shirt, or
wear
like,
denim tears like a motherfucker. I done seen plenty of them in the fucking
bro,
country region. I'm like, y'all actually, I would accept any other race wearing denim tears except white people.
that's
It's
what I'm saying.
fine,
No,
bro.
that's what I'm saying. Like for what his brand actually represents, you don't you literally, if you were taking that same approach that he was taking with them, you would literally not want anybody out that's non-black to wear that shit technically. But to
Exactly,
your point,
exactly.
it's kind of like the gatekeeping of music and culture. Like black music has always been so big that if you were a real connoisseur of music, you like black music. That's not crazy.
Right, right. Because it's one thing to just like, oh, I like rap, and like you just like, your Future, Lil Baby, 21 Cent, all the
Right.
big ones, like you were saying earlier. It's another thing to like truly be in hip hop. Like, I don't know if you ever
Yes.
heard like the prank call when Eminem like called LL Cool J freestyling or whatever, and like surprising
No.
on the back. It's awesome. I'll send it to you later. It's
Send
awesome,
it
but
to
it's
me.
like that. We already know Eminem is hip hop, but it's like that is a thing that happened when when he was just still Lil Low Eminem before Megastar Eminem, that just shows, oh, he really studied this shit. Like I have to actually
Yes.
respect him for real, because he gets a bad rep for being a white rapper, and
But
but
Eminem
like
is the
Eminem is really like,
quintessential.
yeah, like he
It's like
is.
he's Jason Williams of rap because it's
Yeah, yeah,
like
exactly,
you don't
exactly.
question Jason Williams' authenticity, the way that he treated himself. People may have tried to come at him and say, "Oh, you're just a white boy," but it was just like it don't matter, bro. He is
Right,
truly of the game. Above
exactly, and
all, the game is
that's
the game, bro.
all you really gotta do. I feel like is pass the vibe check and like the knowledge test for real. Like we be, and then we'll let a motherfucker like that Ian kid who don't know much of anything about hip hop go on the Rolling Loud stage and like,
My
oh yeah, he
God,
kind
bro.
of hot. He kind of hot. We love a fucking gimmick real quick, but then when it's actually a motherfucker that's truly of it or really study it, it's just like, damn, man. But then it usually be the motherfuckers who push back that aren't also like that heady into it. So it's really
That's
weird.
a
And
good
like
point.
the levers of like gatekeeping and who could or should be holding the culture versus like the motherfuckers who actually writing the checks. It's a disconnect. Though we've lost those people like at the record labels, at the magazines,
Mm,
at these like media entities that really control the pipelines of it. And everybody else, all the OGs just trying to get a fucking check now and keep their lights on. You done
bro,
bought three
that's
houses already.
you
You
done bought
need
three
that check
houses, and
at
now you're
300
trying to
more times.
capitalize off the fact that
Yeah,
you're black and get a white guy in here to make
yeah,
more money. It's
yeah,
like, bro, stop playing with us. Like we know this fucking play, bro.
yeah,
Like
man.
don't shit on us, bro. Like
I
come on,
just
man.
I just really, I'm kind of just reflecting and being on some nostalgia shit, not even just for nostalgia's sake, but I really just miss the physical world, bro, and like actually like going out and touching grass, like literally. I would
Yeah,
go sometimes as a teenager, just hang out in Forest Park or the Loop and just like sit back, grab lunch, read, and people watch. But I was
yeah,
experiencing things as well and buying stuff and meeting people and all these other things. We are so perpetually online, and these algorithms are like little mini echo chambers that we all have personally curated to our own tastes and literal likings nowadays. So we don't really ever challenge ourselves. I think
yeah.
as humans, as friends, as lovers, as neighbors, and absolutely not as consumers of
Absolutely
art,
not.
food, fashion, any of this stuff. And for me, taste is such a big thing. And I think we're kind of having like a lack of taste epidemic right now that's really kind of like taking the world over. Like it's
Back
hard,
to
and
Drake.
nobody's reading anymore, and people aren't writing either. They're using Chat GPT to write. So even fleshing out your thoughts like it's all
Damn,
these studies that come out that show that people who rely more on Chat GPT or AI to help them at work, when they actually do something without the AI, it takes them longer to solve that problem now. And I'm a person that has used some AI before, but I
oh
know how to
definitely.
prompt now in a way that benefits me. I don't really do too much of it writing for me. Maybe an
Mm,
edit down, but not too much of actually coming up with the
yeah,
words. But
yeah,
like I can look around and see that people are using AI way too much to rely on stuff. People will go to ChatGPT and do that for fact, like without fact checking, and think that AI is correct when it's already been shown time and time again that they're still not perfect sources of information. You need to go and read just to double check. So like people aren't even they're not even going the extra step already to truly have a critical analysis of something before they say it in the public
That's deep.
forum.
That's deep. And like you said, that nuance is going to be the difference between like our children and next generations and generations to come. It's like that ability to do that. So
Because technology is not slowing down, and that's the scary part about it. And I think it's starting to outpace us as far as how we won't be able to wrangle it in maybe another 20 years. I don't think so, unless we start really thinking about it like we think of climate change.
yeah,
It's going to be really tough, at least in America. I think other nations around the world are still emphasizing education, or like China, how they do their version of TikTok and everything. Like you can only be of a certain age, and it's only certain types of content until you're older. But America is so about profit that Google is paying to lobby in DC to make
right.
sure that our kids literally get sold nothing but sugary snacks and toys
That's
off of
so lame, bro. It's like it's just
it.
ruining the kids so much. And it's just
Brain
making
rot.
it so like, yeah, it's just rotting them out. And it's just like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like I understand like they would still make the profits.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
would
I
still make
still
the
would.
money. They would still be the top dogs in it all without dragging or soiling what's coming after them. But they seem to like not worry about that. And it's just like
I think
it's
it's
mind boggling.
easier.
It makes me think that people are like I know people are evil, but it's just like that feels
No,
borderline.
it really like it solidifies that
Mm-hmm.
for you for real. Because like
Mm-hmm.
they're aware of it. They know the harm. Like Zuckerberg knows the harms of the algorithm of his and of his platform, and yet he still chooses to do it because he has stockholders, to appease and make profit off of, and he needs to keep growing because he's also greedy. Like the
Right.
system that we exist within economically is just, and then the people who go to business schools who could be influential in making these decisions also get fed a pro-capitalist mindset. And I'm not opposed to big business or none of that in its existence. It's their practices of how they grow typically and how they suppress others from innovating or coming to become competition with them, which I thought in the free market we were supposed to be encouraging, but they really don't. It'll be that monopoly, that oligopoly in like 4 or 5 corporations, telecommunications corporations. Everybody has the same 4 or 5 different cell phone companies now, bro. Used to be able to get more people in there can give you more competition. Same with cable. You see it in so many different things. Same with gasoline,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it's only a handful of them, they all really can kind of just sit around and just like, bam, bam, and then a merger and acquisition come until it become we not even about to have no antitrust laws. They're not going to be breaking up the business because that's not what Trump is on. So we're going to see these large corporations get even larger over the next 4 years, and just like controlling the market. It's like you really hugging the block too much, bro.
That's
So
exactly what it is. We
yeah,
watching
they're
them
just
hug the
hugging the
block.
block way too much. So I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it's our jobs as entrepreneurs, artists, marketers, even to a degree, to like think and be innovative and try to figure out new ways to like overcome this shit. But the real thing is truly capitalism at the end of the day, man. Like you can make a lot of money and still be able to do good out there. And it's businesses that show that that's possible. Um, it's
Yeah.
just not how you make $1 trillion as a human being, like
Right.
Musk is on his way to. So whatever. But yeah, man, this is a great chat.
This is a
This
good
is
one, man. This
fun.
is a good one for
Yeah.
sure. We got into some good stuff here. Yeah, man. So if y'all rocking with us, if you got this far, you a real one. Keep
Yeah, right,
listening.
right, right.
We got more coming for sure. A lot more fun stuff on the way. Hopefully, like I said, me and Mars are gonna be working on DJing more together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Digi Scales in
Big things.
2025. We're gonna try to 6 events. I'm putting it out there 6 times.
Okay,
We're gonna
okay,
DJ. We could
okay.
do that. 3 in
I'm with
Chicago,
that.
3 in St. Louis. We could do that.
I'm with
Easy.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm
Easy.
with that.
And
Okay.
2026, we in France. We at Cannes. Me and you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. No, because
We in
I'm like, I
Cannes.
was thinking about it this year. I'm like, nah, I got
Yeah.
like 3 other things that I got to
I got
prioritize.
some other shit that I want to do, but
Yeah.
next year we in fucking France. We turning the fuck up. It's nothing but trap. I'm playing nothing but trap in
Now, that'll go
France.
hard. That'll fucking change people's lives over in Cannes.
What? That shit'll be going boom, boom.
Gotta
I'm
play
nothing but
Future. I'm that nigga, man. That's one of my favorite
come
Future
on, man.
videos too.
Come on, man. Some a lot of future. I might just do we just do an hour of future in France. We become famous international stars after that.
And the chopped and screw niggas in Paris to close it out.
You know what I mean? 6 times playing it back to back, 6 minutes straight. But yeah, y'all. Peace out. We'll holler at y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace.